Now it's August, the final month of winter in the Southern Hemisphere. This means that spring is around the corner. I'm excited to take you along on a tour just to show you how far we have come since we started the winter planting in April. In addition to that, I will also be sharing the crops that I'm starting indoors this month in preparation for my spring and summer garden. So all of that is coming up. Now let's kick things off in this bed. So if you remember, I think we started these beans off in May. They are growing along quite nicely. Now broad beans, they are long season crop and they are perfect for cool season. So I started this in May. As you can see, they are growing quite nicely. They are at a point where now they will be they are forming beautiful white flower. Now broad beans, they are a versatile crop and you can harvest them when they are young or wait until the pods are mature and nice and plump. So I will just be allowing this to continue to grow, and hopefully early spring I will be able to harvest some of these broad beans. Right next to the broad beans we have cabbage. We also planted this in May. Now this cabbage, this is the baby variety, and I think it's a perfect time to harvest. One next to this cabbage is drum head variety. It's a bigger variety, so I will allow that to form up. But I'm very happy to actually harvest the first cabbage in this season. Now right in front of the cabbages in this section we have the garlic. I think we planted these garlics in April. Now you will see I have a little bit of rust on some of my garlic, so I'll just continue to apply copper soap, because especially growers in the Western Cape that receive rain during winter, their garlic is very prone to garlic rust. So as you can see here, we have some garlic rust on these leaves, but I'm hoping to get a good harvest. Now let's move over to the next bed. In this bed we planted some carrots. I've been thinning them out, and I think today I will just harvest a couple of carrots. Some of them, let me see, yeah. There's a nice one. I will just continue to pull out some of the carrots. I think we only need this. In front of this carrot you can see I have a gift here from the garden. These are volunteer tomatoes, so these are bush varieties. So I just need to put some support. I think I should have done it earlier, but yeah, I will just later add some support so that these tomatoes can just grow properly. So you can see we have a couple of volunteer tomatoes, so I will just provide them with support. Here at the back, I think in May we transplanted some brassicas, and this is the purple variety. I'm totally excited with this variety. I can see popularity is forming. This is a cauliflower, so I'm looking fast forward to harvest this one. You can see it's growing quite nicely. On the other side, it's also another purple kind of variety, cauliflower, that is also growing. Here at the back, we planted some peas in May. They have come quite a long way. This is the bush variety. So I've just provided the trellis to allow them to grow upwards. So I'm looking forward to see how this peas will look here, but at the moment I'm totally happy with the peas here. Next to the peas, here we have potatoes. Last week we healed them up. So if you have potatoes, it's important to heal them up. That will just allow you to maximize your yield. So in this section we have 5 potatoes, and on the other section we also planted 5 seed potatoes. Next to the potatoes we have harvested broccoli, and those were the main heads that I harvested. As you can see, there are some secondary heads, so I'll just go ahead and also harvest for today a couple of these secondary heads from this side. And from the other side, as you can see, there's some snail damage on the side of the broccoli, but I'm happy to get some secondary heads from these broccoli plants now. On this side of the garden, we planted, also in May, we planted some carrots. I interplanted them with radishes, and we managed to harvest that, I think, last month. So I will just allow the carrots on this side to continue to grow on, and I will thin it out as the season progresses. Yeah, so I have carrots in that bed and also in this bed. So I will allow this to grow on. Now let's move over to the other side. So on this side of the garden, we have some onions. You will see that I have some wires chicken wire that I place in my garden. That is just to ensure that I keep the cats away. So let me just remove this chicken wire here. Yeah, so we have here shallots. They're coming along quite nicely. I was worried they took a little long to germinate, but I'm happy that the shallots, I planted 5 and they are coming along quite nicely. Yeah, so we have 5 shallots that is growing. In the middle, we have the beetroot kit that is growing also nicely. And at the back, we also have some volunteer tomatoes. I will just allow this tomato to grow up the trellis next to the wall. In this container, if you remember, we harvested sweet potatoes. That was part of an experiment. Managed to get some strawberry seedlings, and I planted them in this barrel. They are growing quite nicely. As you can see, they're forming flowers, they are fruiting. So I'm excited with how the strawberry is growing. So I will just allow that to grow on, and we should get a harvest in early spring. This bed is my brassica bed. In this bed, my plan is to use strip cropping and also to use companion planting to keep some of the pest away. So far everything is going well. You'll see that there is some wire, chicken wire that I've put here, because cats can be a problem in this area of mine. So this is just to keep some of the cats off the bed, but I have quite a number of brassicas that are growing in here, and I'm using companion planting. So let me just show you. We have broccoli, and I'm also happy with the pop-up broccoli that is also growing on this side. And I've just interplanted it with some onion. If you want to see how I have laid it out, I will just take a section of the June video and also put it up. But yeah, this is the bed that I've set up, and so far so good. No aphids, no pests at the moment. So I'm hoping that it remains like that. But all the items in this raised bed is going as planned. I'm just putting the wire to prevent the cats from digging in. Now on this side, we are growing some peas. The peas, this is the Aragon variety. First time that I'm growing that. Now this variety is known that you can use it for drying. So I will just allow this to grow on, and later on I will dry this peas out and for use. But for now, they are growing quite nicely. As you can see, the plant is full of peas, of the pots. And yeah, I will just allow that to grow on. So in this bed, we had some baby spinach, but I noted there are some slugs and snails. So I've just allowed this broccoli plant to grow, go to flower, and allowed the snails to feast on this one. But I see earlier this morning that it is attracting quite a lot of bees, so that is a good thing. That I'm hoping that the snails will remain here. But also at the same time, I have allowed this one to go to flower to just attract some beneficial insects like bees and so on. So I'll probably later this month remove it and put in additional plants, or see what I will replace that broccoli plant with. Now this bed has been a problem. I need to fix it. So there's nothing really going on. There's some sage and some grass that is grown. So not everything is always going as planned. But yeah, I should sort this bed out and prepare it for the spring and the summer garden. Yeah. Next to it, we have the onions that I'm growing. Yeah, the peas that I planted earlier this month, not great success because of the snails. But I've put up some traps and I managed to get some snails in this trap that I set up. So that is an update from my 2025 winter garden. It has been a journey of learning and growing and adapting. It was amazing to see how each bed has produced. Now that August is here, it's time for me to shift my attention to growing some heat-loving crops indoors. So although I have some determinate tomatoes that are volunteer tomatoes in my garden, I will also be starting off some determinate tomatoes indoors. This will just allow them to grow bigger. So later in the spring, I will be transplanting them and they will be at a decent size. Now last year, I had a good run with my bell peppers. I removed them earlier this year after I have overwintered them. So this year, I will also be starting some of my bell peppers indoors. And I'm hoping to have a good season again with the bell peppers. Now I'm hoping my plan this year is also to have a fresh supply of alliums in my garden. So I have currently shallots as well as some onions sets that are growing in my garden. Now in addition to that, I will also just be starting leeks, which I will hopefully grow to a decent size and hopefully transplant them later in the summer months. But yeah, leeks are definitely some of the crops that I will be starting indoors for the month of August. Now, if you intend to grow sweet potatoes, it's also a good time now to start your sweet potatoes indoors because slopes can take a good minute or time to be ready for planting. So I am lucky enough to have 10 slopes that I managed to get from my sweet potato harvest earlier this year. So if you want to start sweet potatoes, if you want to plant sweet potatoes, August is also a good month, which will give you enough time for you to grow your sweet potato slopes. And there are different ways. I did discuss it. I'll put a link of a video where you can see how I normally start my sweet potato slopes. But I'm lucky enough to have some sweet potato slopes. I will also just start additional slopes now because I'm hoping to have more sweet potato slopes as the season progresses. So keep your eye out for the upcoming spring and summer planting strategy where I will break down my goals and the plans for my 2025 spring and summer garden. So please let me know in the comments, what are you harvesting, what are you growing and sowing for the month of August. Thank you so much for watching and I'm looking forward to see you in the next one. Keep on sowing and growing.